Hijab was bringing arguments, evidence, research. He thoroughly looked at the arguments and looked at the presuppositions and the counterfactuals, and there's a whole array of systematic reasoning and clear argumentation, and lucidly put.
It was his ex-wife, and with the destabilizing effect, goes the destabilizing effect to his family, to Lackland Ferguson, to Phoenix Ferguson, the children of Lyle Ferguson. So she attacks religion in her books, but she practices it in her daily life. And so this is a serious hypocrisy, not just in that which she does, Ayaan, but in that which she states as well.
But from her side, it's just feeble. It didn't come across strong at all. It was just like Fox News stuff, you know. That's my honest opinion.
So would you believe in the democratic vote, though? So would people be allowed to vote in women politicians?
Stop being.
Okay, that's fine. You just want to answer it. That's all right.
It's just like Fox News stuff, you know. That's my honest opinion. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Muslim. It just really, I think anybody would look at that and say it's a complete mismatch. We are back. We are today going to be speaking about a very funny and interesting demolition. Some call it a debate, but it was a demolition which took place a few days ago. It was our brother, Daniel Haqiqatjou.
Increasing social status and power through education or career. Islam does not encourage women to gain power in this way. In fact, Islam is against it. You won't find anywhere in the Quran, in the Sunnah, or the scholarly tradition where women are encouraged to gain power and status in society. Islam does not encourage women to gain power in this
every time.
It was our brother, Daniel Haqiqatjou, as usual, demolishing these libtards. And this individual, you know, Yusuf, we sometimes talk about...
Subboor, now that you said that you agree with Daniel Haqiqatjou, let me inform the viewers what you agree with. Offensive jihad, killing apostates, execute homosexuals, ISIS style, no education for women because that empowers them socially. Popo Subboor, Haqiqatjou keeps exposing us libtards without mercy. He brings the fear in the hearts of atheists. Yeah, don't worry, he won't end Islam single-handedly.
Ex-Muslim. She claims she's an ex-Muslim, but when it's funny that when she first started talking, the first things that she uttered from her mouth was the following statements: "What made me famous, or what made me infamous, actually, was that I'm an apostate from Islam." Like she's like that's her identity, and she admits that, and that's what rose her in the ranks of in the West. Because without that, and without her carrying that baggage with her, she wouldn't be anything that she is today.
In the Hitlerian delusions of Muslim apologists, indecent intellectual conduct against enemies of Islam is well received. No problem there. Any criticism against Islam, though, can only be Islamophobia, prejudice against Islam. In the supremacist mind of these cultists, no one can have a bad opinion of Islam unless he is Hitler.
My uneasy answer to this is yes. The caveat is not all Muslim men are misogynists, and not all Muslim men harass or attack women or treat them badly. But there is a minority.
Okay, so Ayaan Hirsi, after her partner was stabbed to death by an Islamic terrorist, after she was inflicted female genital mutilation, after she was hiding all her life from radical Islamists threatening to kill her, having an opinion against Islam, she is Hitler. Yet, this guy...
Who is his ex-wife! And with the destabilizing effect goes...
counterfactuals, and there's a whole array of systematic reasoning and clear argumentation and lucidly put.
Subboor Ahmed, you are a wanker. That is the appropriate response to your types. You are a propaganda tool for radical Islam. You are a mouthpiece for Islamofascism with no intellectual objectivity or integrity.
This was the worst thing she said. She said, this is so far. She said, after speaking to Muslim men, they said that if they were back in Afghanistan or whichever country they came from, and there was a woman uncovered this way, they wouldn't be reprimanded for abusing her.
Mm. Yeah, that's really
What the hell's that?
I can't imagine, like realistically, anyone said anything to our Muslim wives and us men not reacting to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, do these people live in an imaginary world where Muslim men don't exist and have like love and protection of their own wives?
Exactly.
What's going on?
What's going on, Ijaz, is that you are living in your imaginary world. Ayaan never said Muslim men won't react when their wives are being abused. What? Are you serious, my friend? No, this is what she said.
Within Islam or within the tribal culture that some of these young men come from, women who are regarded as bad are regarded as unprotected. Unprotected meaning unprotected by male guardians. So in that sense, what you see is, and I've talked to some of these young men, Muslim men in Europe, and asked them, why is it that you can't, if you behave this way in Egypt, when you come to Germany, why do you carry on behaving this way? And a lot of them who've actually done some reflection on the differences in societies just say, if I behaved this way in Egypt or in Afghanistan or in Iraq, I would meet with no disapproval. The women who are targeted, they are the ones who are disapproved of because they are the ones who put themselves in trouble. And so as you can see, there's this big clash of values or clash of civilization. I don't know what you want to call it. But on the treatment of women, there definitely is a clash of values when it comes to the values of Europe versus the values of Islam.
Aspects of the Islamic discourse, aspects of the Islamic jurisprudential tradition, and juxtapose it with the Western discourses, especially here we're talking about second wave feminism, and expect Islam to correspond with those, they'll be utterly and bitterly disappointed because clearly we believe our system is superior. We believe that the system is failing. We believe that nuclear households are being destroyed in the West. We believe that you've got it wrong. We believe that we've got it right. And so in order to defeat us in argument, you must first argue from first principles.
Mohammed Hijab thinks his social system is superior. Western social systems are failing. Nuclear households are being destroyed in the West. We got it wrong, and they got it right. All that, of course, if we argue from first principles. What does he mean? If by definition in the dictionary morality equals whatever Islam says, and if by definition in the dictionary truth equals whatever Islam says, then he wins the argument. Bravo. Congratulations. Let me make a stand ovation.
Woman, what is education? And whether it's important for a Muslim woman to be educated or not.
You know what? I don't believe in women's education. She kind of looked shocked back at me, stunned like I was from a different planet. Many of you watching this are probably just as confused as my wife was that night. But after I explained to her exactly why I don't believe in women's education and my Islamic reasons for this, she came to fully agree with me. I hope the same will be the case with everyone listening today. My position in this debate is simple. Pursuing education empowers women, but Islam is against empowering women. I know this sounds shocking to some, but hear me out. What I mean by empowerment is increasing social status and power through education or career.
A man who needs no introduction. Daniel Haqiqatjou is a person who synthesizes Islamic knowledge with his studies in philosophy. What he does quite effectively is he synthesizes his secular knowledge and with classical Islamic knowledge that he's also acquired through training, and to make robust arguments against people who are against Islam and Muslims. And
is Islam inherently misogynistic?
Well, first and foremost, of course, misogyny needs to be defined, because if it's defined definitionally as it is in the kind of dictionary, the hatred of women, then the answer is very clearly no.
Misogyny.
Dislike of, contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against women.
We do believe that women have a collective female temperament on certain aspects, which need to be tailored for in legislation, which need to be tailored for in social and political life. And so therefore, if someone wants to use second wave, feministic, collectivistic discourses to try and attack the Islamic narrative, then they must first establish the truthfulness and the objectiveness. Unlike the co-guest, Ayaan McGann, which is actually her real name, I'm actually qualified to speak about that, which we'll be speaking about today.
Increasing social status and power through education or career. Islam does not encourage women to gain power in this way. In fact, Islam is against it. You won't find anywhere in the Quran, in the Sunnah, or the scholarly tradition where women are encouraged to gain power and status in society. Feminists want women to gain power in society so that women can be equal to men in becoming presidents and prime ministers. That is the purpose of pushing women's education. It is about gaining power and gender equality. But again, this is discouraged by Islam. Islam has a social blueprint that requires male authority over women on every level of human society, when it comes to family, when it comes to politics, when it comes to religious leadership. Women's empowerment through education is completely contrary to this.
Islam is misogynistic in its approach to women. I know that by saying this, I offend a lot of people. I know that people's feelings get hurt, the feelings of Muslims. I know that that is the case. But setting feelings aside and just looking objectively at what it is that Islam says about women and where it positions us, the answer is yes. It is misogynistic.